And the Ravens just signed a special teamer here. Let's see. They are bringing in Saints 3-time All-Pro special teamer and safety JT Gray. Jordan Schultz on it. He was a surprise release earlier this week. Had significant interest from a number of teams. Baltimore expects him to be on the field sooner rather than later. So some special teams help en route to Baltimore. Jordan Schultz and others noting that former Saint, 3-time All-Pro special teamer and safety, JT Gray is coming to Baltimore.
I can bring that up. There we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is interesting. Is this one of those signings, Bobby, that you're like, whoa, can't believe he was released. We just got to pick him up. Or is it, okay, we're not quite sure we have what we need on the special teams unit. Like I know last night on your Ravens Collective, which I listened to in support of you guys, listened to it this morning on my way to tennis. But I know you talked about how special teams is one of your areas of concern just because the Ravens lost so many guys on their coverage teams. And so, you know, I mean, he's a 3-time All-Pro. So it seems to me that it's like, oh, a 3-time All-Pro is out there. We should go gobble him up, and maybe a little bit less about, oh, we're nervous about our guys. Although there is a little bit of nerves because there's so many young guys that they're plugging in, and it would be nice to have a veteran out there.
Yeah. Well, obviously this is an instant reaction, so we got more to learn about JT Gray. But I did share that last night, you know, some of my concerns. We went kind of position group by position group in terms of like where we might be skeptical. And I was really talking about Tyler Loop in a sense, because while he's had a really successful, by all accounts, preseason, summer overall, aside from a day or two in OTAs, we just don't know what that pressure management is going to look like for him, even though he handled it pretty well over 5 years at Arizona. But until those bullets are flying, I guess I was just kind of keeping myself at bay and expecting anything going in. That said, Sarah, when you lose your aces in Chris Board and Malik Harrison, who logged a lot of special teams reps over the years, and that unit itself having been down in recent years and highly penalized and unsettled at punt returner, even though they feel like they got their guy in LaJohntay Wester. Rookie's a rookie. And so I felt like out of everywhere team-wide, it's special teams for me. And so my hope is that they feel like, yeah, they are maybe unsettled there and they're not done yet, and that this guy's going to factor into their plans. More from Jeff, noting that Gray played 70% or more of the Saints special team snaps in each of the past 5 years. So he comes in with plenty of teams experience. He's 29 years old. Jeff also notes that
29, that's pretty young.
It is.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's like middle of the career. You're not over the hill yet.
Yeah. Jeff also notes that it wouldn't be surprising if he factors in the Ravens game day plans sooner rather than later. And then went on to note what I just kind of talked about, having lost, you know, several special teams core players. So
Bobby, we just went through the exercise. Me and Jason from Huddle Up Films just went through an excruciating exercise of trying to find 53 players only on this roster. And then the Ravens provided a pretty nice talent pool to the rest of the league, you know, with somebody like Bo Braid and some of these other guys. So the question now is being asked, okay, who's losing their spot with TJ Gray coming on?
JT Gray, yeah.
JT Gray, thank you. My guess would be that they would get him on the practice squad first, and they have a deal with him saying, hey, you will eventually be on the 53, because there's a chance, like we said, we get 3 elevations, right? He gets 3 elevations before he has to before he would have to be cut. Yep. So the Ravens could do that 3 times, and by then, who knows what the health situation is going to be, and the decision can be made for the Ravens. So my guess is that you put him on there, but that does mean somebody from the practice squad would be cut, but I don't think they need to cut anybody just yet on the 53-man roster.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. Here he is himself. JT Gray, again, was released. If you're just coming in, we've got breaking news here. A new Ravens player is coming to Baltimore. It's JT Gray. He was released on the 1st, Sarah, by New Orleans. He's a 3-time All-Pro and a 2021 Pro Bowler. He's a safety and also a core special teamer. That's where he's made his hay in the National Football League as a special teamer. And here is his note to New Orleans. No reason to read this at length, but this is what we're reacting to right now. JT Gray coming to Baltimore, and perfect timing when you're live, partner, and a player news story breaks like this right now.
That is nice. And by the way, Jeff Zrebiec confirmed my guess. He said that the Ravens are adding him to the practice squad. So that is confirmed from Jeff Zrebiec, not necessarily the team yet, but Jeff said a source told him that he will go to the practice squad.
All right, good stuff from Jeff. Again, this is an All-Pro, both in not just both, but 3 times, 2019, 2021, and how about this? Most recently in 2024, last season, as a special teamer. He is your newest Baltimore Raven. So
this begs the question, because he obviously, with all that special teams experience, that seems like a boon to Baltimore, right? Like, we have all these young guys on special teams. This is a veteran special teamer. The question is, why was he cut by New Orleans in the first place? Do they see a fall off, or is it more just like a numbers game that they feel like they're good on special teams, but they need the spot for defensive players that they need to use or whatnot? But I am curious to look into why New Orleans cut him.
We're going to do exactly that. So that is your breaking news. JT Gray is the newest Baltimore Raven, having been released earlier this week by the New Orleans Saints. And now Chris Horton gets a chance to see what they have in him. Ravens personnel department gets to see what they have in them, and we will update things accordingly as soon as we know about it.
I think I just got my an answer to my own question.
Yeah.
The AI overview, which is polling from Louisiana Sports and elsewhere, is saying it was a combination of reasons, including salary cap management, the need to prioritize younger talent, and that part doesn't seem relevant. So those are the 2 major ones.
Well, what we know, I think for sure, Sarah, is that in New Orleans, there's usually always a salary cap issue, or they're typically salary cap tight.
Always. Okay, so here's
Louisiana
Sports .net. The NFL season is filled with surprising moves, and the New Orleans Saints just made a shocker. So nobody out there was expecting it, which is good news for Baltimore, because it's not like, he's dropping off, he's no good. So they're shocked over there. Kellen Moore confirmed Monday that the Saints have released the veteran safety, JT Gray. Quote, "We know the high-quality player that he is, the impact that he's had on this organization," Moore said, "just with the roster management part of things over the course of the season and throughout the next few weeks. There's a lot of challenges associated with that. It was a really tough one for us to do this." So there you go.
Just the context we needed.
It was just the context we needed. It was a squeeze. So, hey, on the surface, we're just learning about this after a couple minutes, but of what we know on the surface, this looks like a good move for Baltimore.
And perhaps a coveted special teams replacement for what they've lost. So we'll have to see. And they have lost quite a bit. They allowed a lot to walk out of their building, both willingly, right, in Chris and Malik's case, and then really the decision was made elsewhere, really by the league, although it was their decision too, to part ways with Justin Tucker. That was sort of a complicated one, as we know from earlier this offseason. So there you have it, our instant reaction.
Yeah, well, now we put him on the same kind of watch at practice, right? We're going to be watching for Isaiah Likely, Jair Alexander, Ricard, and now will JT already be out there? Will he is he in the building? Did he sign? Will he be out here first thing?
Yep. Lots to look out for sure.